All right, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to Atticus Live, where we drink beer and talk about boats. Today we are going to be talking about how to stay clean while living on a sailboat out at anchor. And it's going to be awesome. Stick with us, guys. All right, what's going on, guys? I'm Jordan.
And I'm Desiree.
And we are newbie cruisers, so never forget that. Don't listen to a word that we say, pretty much, is what I mean to say by that. No, but we're still learning, and we hope that through our experiences and sharing with what we've learned, we can help you guys out as well.
Yeah, and tonight we're really excited to be collaborating with a handful of sailing channels like Trio Travels, Venture Live, Sailing Uma, and a new channel that we're collaborating with for the first time, Sailing Kittiwake. We're really excited. They've got an awesome channel, so check them out. All right, so also we wanted to say thank you so much, Dave, he's going to be our moderator tonight. Dave has been with us since live stream numero uno, and he's amazing. So we'll say hi to him. He's got the tool next to him.
So we got Tom, Sailing Vessel Sunday, the other Tom, and Dave. What's up, everybody? And Curacao 11, what's up, buddy?
Nice. And Sail Before Sunset, Tom.
So you guys haven't officially met Dave yet, and you're about to, so check it out.
Hello everyone, I'm Dave, and I'm delighted once again to be the moderator on tonight's live stream from Project Atticus. I live here in the Republic of Ireland, where I'm currently engaged in a small boat rebuilding project of my own. Now tonight's live stream is going to be informative, entertaining, hell, it may even get controversial, but one thing's for certain, it's going to be engaging, and a big part of what makes that happen is your participation. So thank you all for coming on board with Project Atticus. Make sure you give a thumbs up on the live stream because it helps the channel grow. It's just down there, under the screen. Okay? Down there.
Rock on, Dave. Thanks, buddy.
He's the man. And Dave has his own YouTube channel as well. He's refitting his own sailboat, so check that out also.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. So our topic tonight, staying clean while living on a sailboat at anchor. I guess it applies to powerboats as well, but this is a particularly interesting topic for me because when we first started talking about living on a small sailboat, when the first ideas started getting into our heads, you know, bathing, showering, hygiene, all that kind of stuff, that seemed to me to be the one element that would be a huge sacrifice. And living on a small sailboat, living on any sailboat, but living on a small sailboat in particular, you have a lot of sacrifices that you have to make. And I thought that showering, bathing was going to be a huge one. But as it turns out, and as we'd like to kind of show you through tonight's content, that in our opinion, not only is it not a big sacrifice, but it's actually kind of a plus of the lifestyle. And so we'll kind of get into that. But we're also going to be talking about laundry tonight, and laundry totally sucks.
Just sucks.
Totally sucks. That is a big sacrifice. Lynn Party actually called laundry the curse of cruising. And we agree.
Yeah. So we wanted to show you kind of like the spectrum of comfort based on like your budget and the amount of time and money you want to spend on like your showering system and laundry system, for example. So we don't have hot water on Atticus. We don't have a shower in the boat. We could probably do a hot water shower in the cockpit, but it would take a lot of time and money to get it done. And we're pretty happy with our setup right now. So we'll show you a couple of perspectives from smaller boats. We've got a boat from Alaska, and then we've got one cat that's Trio Travels, and they've got kind of like the other end of the spectrum. So it's just based on your comfort level. You have to figure out what feels good to you and what you want on your boat, and don't let anyone tell you you need hot water or like you're such a baby for having hot water.
Yeah, don't let anyone tell you how to run your
life.
That's right. No way. Right. We got a couple people on. Hey, Venture Lives, what's up, guys?
Hey, Rob and Megan.
Thanks for joining us. And then, boy, a bunch of people. Young One, Tom McFarland, Waukesha Pilot, Captain Fish says, I shower all the time, but always still dirty. Wink. I feel you, man. Desiree, well,
I'm the dirty one.
She's the dirty one.
I really am.
Yeah.
And Facto Totem, what 1100 says, composting head. Talk about that if you can. We just have a...
We will later on.
Yeah, we'll get to that later, but we don't have a composting head. All right, so let's start off with Sailing Kittiwake.
All right, let's check out what they have to say.
Hi, guys.
Thanks for having us on your live stream.
On our little catamaran, the water capacity is about 150 litres, 50 in a tank inside the boat and 100 on deck in jerry cans. And for that reason we need to be quite frugal with water, but we managed to use 150 litres in about 3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks, because we use salt water quite a bit. To conserve water and use as little as possible, we have a saltwater intake which we use to wash everything, so all our dishes and cups and everything, and then we rinse with the fresh water in this sprayer. When we first moved on board we had 2 solar showers and they were 20 litres each, and we had one for salt water and one for fresh water. But we found that they were really awkward to use because we needed to hoist them up really high, and once they got at the right height they would swing about in the rigging a lot, and it was really difficult to move around to get the water flow coming. So we got rid of them and never used them again. These days we use 2 main things. One is like a 1 litre bottle, and the other one is a garden sprayer. So it pressurizes the water so that you can get a nice fine flow of water. We use the garden sprayer mainly for our bodies because it's kind of a mist rather than a big flow of water. And then we wash our hair with the 1 litre bottle, and we try to use a total of 2–2.5 litres for the both of us. We mainly spend our time at anchor, but if we can we'll take any shower. So if there's a shower on the beach, we'll go there at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day and try and use the showers, and as well, like if we're in a boat yacht or in a marina, which is very, very rare, then we'll obviously use the showers on shore. We try to have a shower every couple of days, and if we can't, then we'll just wash ourselves inside Kittiwake. So far we've been pretty lucky with finding natural soap and shampoo, so we stock up wherever we find some. So for example, we found this in Portugal and just got 750 millilitres of it, and then we have lots of little eco-friendly soaps, and yeah, just take whatever comes because it's quite difficult when you're cruising to find the right products. We don't have hot water on board, and we don't even have a shower inside. So when it's cold we either wash inside or we warm up some water on the stove and mix it with cold water, and that gives a nice hot water shower feel.
Awesome. Those guys are really doing some cool things, so check out their channel. We totally get you about when it's cold, how like our frequency of showering kind of plummets. At least for
when
me.
it's cold out, Desiree doesn't shower.
I get real dirty.
Luckily, we're in the tropics. Let me just. Oh, sorry. Luckily, we're in the tropics. Yeah. Luckily for me. For me.
Yeah, and a question for Sailing Kittiwake. You mentioned in your video that if it's really cold, you say you wash up inside. I'm wondering if that means you do like, you know, like a, you know, just one of these, or do you actually set up a shower inside? Let us know. All right, so. Yeah, a lot of, essentially we found that a lot of small sailboats, like around the 30-foot and lower range, sometimes a little bit bigger than 30 foot, don't have a shower inside their boat, and a lot of those boats just shower in the cockpit. And somebody said, the shower thing will probably be the deal breaker with my wife. Still hopeful, a dreamer. And I would say to him, to your wife, like, just try it out a little bit, you know, and we'll get to that in our showering video. But it's one of those things where you think it's going to suck to shower in the cockpit, but it's actually really nice. I think we both really enjoy it. And so if you want to check out 2 other videos about small sailboat and their shower setup, check out Sailing Brittany's most recent video about showers. And then the Sailing Road also, they have a shower in their cockpit, but they actually set up like this tent with like a little doggy pool inside their boat for when it's really, really cold. So it's kind of a cool setup. So if you really, really want to shower inside on a 30-foot or small boat, you can check it out.
Real quick, I gotta interrupt, I apologize, but I gotta say hello to the Turkish Guys in Buffalo, New York.
Nice.
Welcome, we are very glad to have you. Appreciate you guys coming in.
Welcome.
Also, Bruce, what's up, buddy? And I do gotta say, I mispronounced Waukesha.
Nice.
Waukesha Pilot.
Nice.
Thanks for coming in.
And Melissa
guys.
Hart, nice to have you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. And then there was one other, oh my gosh. Okay, nope. I can't find it. Go, Desiree.
All right, so let's hop over to how we shower on Atticus.
Oh, real quick, do you want to talk? Oh, never mind. Okay, yeah, so we're going to talk about how we shower.
So this is our Helios inflatable shower. Most of the time we just take cold water showers. I am trying to reward myself today, so I actually heated up some water in the kettle. Just close that bad boy up. Give it a couple of pumps. Yeah, and then what I'll do is I'll just hop in the water and kind of rinse off, get all the grime and sweat off me. Also, it's kind of a nice part of the day, depending on my mood, but it's kind of nice to just like reset my brain. And then usually I'll shower around now during sunset, so I'll hop in. Okay, step 1, pick wedgie. Step 2, get the ladder. Don't forget the ladder. Have done that once before. Luckily, little shit was there. Okay. Oh, yeah. That feels great. And we also started doing our showers in the cockpit here to kind of like rinse off the non-skid. So kind of a nice 2-in-1 little function. Quick little pit shave. Gonna hop back in. Obviously, you can get some good, like eco-friendly soap. That would be ideal. Just rinse off the fresh water. That's pretty much what we do. We also, whenever I go ashore, I'll bring this little hose so I can take pirate showers if I ever find a spigot anywhere that's available. Oh my gosh, the water feels so good, but so that's how we stay clean on Atticus.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen the video because Jordan was just cutting that today. So I'm like, oh, nice video, good music.
Wonder who edited that.
Yeah. So let's do some shout outs real quick.
Yeah, true. Okay, so Tom McFarland, first of all, says that I have the best shower and then didn't say another damn word. So I want to know what your, right? I want to know what your shower is, Tom. I'm very curious.
Yeah.
And then another one that Captain Fish is saying, are you two drinking tonight? Haven't seen the beer or wine yet. Well, if it was a snake, it would have bit you. I'll say that much.
Although I'm a little sick today, so I'm doing 50% water. Well, more like 80% water and just a splash of wine.
And then Venture Lives likes the pirate showers. That's so, dude, that's a great like phrase, huh? Hashtag pirate showers.
Yeah, and speaking of pirate showers, Sailing Zangaro, they just released a video where they actually hop in the water underway and have a little pirate shower. So that's something fun that we've done, as long as you're hanging on to a line and be safe about it.
Tom,
thanks,
you're
Tom.
the man.
That's awesome.
You are the man.
Cheers to Tom.
Cheers, everybody. Yeah. And we might as well take this opportunity to say, you know, we do have the super chat option or function available on tonight's live stream. So if you guys want to, you know, help us make the time and effort and energy that we put into these live streams, you know, financially helpful to us, we totally approve of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll move on.
All right, cool. So let's talk about our freshwater capacity on board. We've got about 45 gallons, and then we use about a half a gallon of water per shower per person, and that's when we're really skimping. But if we're close to shore and we have a good like water supply, and it's cold out, we'll heat up some water and just take like a long shower. So it just depends on how close we are to fresh water, really.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, and where are you pretty much?
Frequency of showering.
Okay, so we have found that, yeah, like Desiree was saying, about a half gallon per person when we're skimping, about a gallon per person when we're like right next to a water source. You know what I mean? So it really depends. When we were in Cuba, like it was like we were crazy frugal with our water. I've never experienced that before in my entire life, and I'm sure people with really like experience doing really long ocean passages have experienced this. I haven't. But man, in Cuba, you can't go ashore just anywhere, right? There technically has to be some sort of like a tourist facility or a marina or something. And so what ends up happening is there's large stretches of the coast where there's nowhere that you're legally allowed to go ashore, and like people will like stop you from like coming ashore and tell you to go back. So anyway, So what we would do is whenever we were able to access like a resort or anything, we would take this. So it's a pocket shower, holds 10 liters when it is actually fully expanded, and we wouldn't actually shower with it. We just found that this was a great like receptacle to hold the water. So we'd like go into like a bathroom with this in our pocket. We'd fill this bad boy from like the sink in the bathroom, take it back to Atticus, and that would be the water we would shower with that day.
Yeah,
so
pirate showering again.
We weren't like using our drinking water for bathing.
Yeah.
And man, like seriously, in Cuba, we like when we were washing our dishes, we would just wash with salt water, and then we had a little spritzer bottle, just like with fresh water, just like like just like this. We were so frugal with fresh water, it was like absurd.
Yeah, and then Thomas Golan, my brother, says, just wait for your neighbor with a fancy boat to leave. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
When we were in Cuba, actually, we met a big power boat that came in, and a lot of times we found that the yachts kind of like see our lifestyle and kind of are a little bit in awe of how simple we're able to live. So we often get invited onto bigger yachts for like cold water and then hot water showers. So that has happened to us once, and it was amazing. Yeah. And if you're the one listening who has a big boat out there and you see a small sailboat and a couple and you want to figure out a way to get to know them, offer them a shower.
Well, and so Scotty Spar, I believe, says my boat has shower inside with hot water. Actually, it has two.
Nice.
Sounds
Fine,
like
Scotty.
You need to be having some how would you put it? Some sailors from the other side of the proverbial tracks over for some shower parties.
Yep, share the love. Off Planet Event says my wife wants to see Jordan shower to make things fair here. That's a good point. We'll have to hook that up.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be the paid Vimeo content coming up shortly.
Yeah. All right. So, how about you guys? Do you have any tips on saving water or shower hacks or an interesting setup that you use on your sailboat for staying clean? Let us know. Other than that, let's head over to Venture Lives' video. They're over in Alaska, so I was really curious to see how often they shower and if they have hot water and how they handle it. So let's hear from them, because they have, I think, maybe like a 32-foot boat. Rob, how big is your boat?
Well, we'll find out after the video.
Thanks, Jordan and Desiree, for inviting us again to be a part of these topics.
Yeah, so this topic is about showering and laundry. So as you guys know, we are Venture Lives. We're up in Southeast Alaska with our boat, and it's a lot different living up there. Let's put it that way.
Temperatures during the summertime fluctuate.
So this is our Helio.
Thanks, Jordan and Desiree, for inviting us again to be a part of these topics.
Yeah, so this topic is about showering and laundry. So as you guys know, we are Venture Lives. We're up in Southeast Alaska with our boat, and it's a lot different living up there. Let's put it that way.
Temperatures during the summertime fluctuate between like 40 and 60 degrees, sometimes 70 if you're lucky.
Our water capacity on the boat when we're fully topped off is about 70 gallons. We have a bunch of little like jerry cans and stuff to help replenish our water tanks. But with that, we can go about 2 weeks, I would say. About 2, if you really want to stretch it, 3 weeks. That's pretty good. I mean, that's washing dishes with fresh water, because we do not have salt water that comes to our sink. So we don't conserve, we're not like uber conservative on water, but we try to conserve a decent amount.
Yeah, because if it really came down to it, we have, there's so much rain up there. Fresh water's everywhere.
We have a 2.5 gallon hot water tank.
Because it was the only size that would fit down where we needed to put it.
Yes.
So we got that much at least.
Yep, and so we've been using that for 3 years now. And it's like hot water on, shower, and we keep the temperature pretty hot. It's like 160, 170 degrees.
Yeah, so you can at least mix the two, make it last a little bit longer.
Yeah, spread it to about 3 gallons of water, maybe 3.5 if we're lucky.
But it usually takes about 4 hours once we turn the hot water on to get going. So we have to definitely plan.
And that will actually stretch for both Megan and I. So I tend to go second. I wash really quick, really just like lather up and wash as quick as possible.
Sometimes he doesn't get as much hot water as he would like. Especially when I'm washing his hair. I
can handle it though.
Yep.
I guess water saving tips. There is an on-off switch onto our, I guess the shower faucet.
Yeah, we have an eco shower faucet. Yeah.
So it's hot water on, lather, use
off.
she doesn't. You don't use very much soap.
You know, I have dry skin, so but like with my hair and everything, yeah, just lather up as fast as I can and then shut it off, and you know, you can't leave any water running. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just tend to use like an eco bar of soap, like almond scented or whatever I can find at the store that's somewhat eco, because it is going in the salt water.
We are going to upgrade to an instant hot water heater propane tank, so that's going to be lovely.
Yeah, that's going to be really nice. But I don't see us conserving as much water that way. Yeah. But I was going to say, another thing for showering, since it is Alaska, it's cold, we want to have a hot shower. We tend to shower maybe 2 times a week, sometimes 3 on the boat. Yeah. If we're in that, like I said, through our conserving, that'll last about 2 weeks.
If we're out anchoring and stuff.
Yeah.
When we're docked and I'm working and we're doing the everyday thing, then we shower at the gym or wherever we can find
State parks are pretty good. Showers, you can find showers pretty much everywhere, which is nice. Laundry is another one. It's actually kind of funny. We one of our latest videos that went out was Baranoff, and we didn't show it in our video, but at Baranoff Hot Springs, there's all these like really nice bathtubs that you can go and soak in, and they're huge. They fit both of us. Yeah. And you get the fresh hot springs water that goes right to it. That's where we did laundry at one point.
Yeah, we did our laundry. Except it reeked a little bit afterwards.
It smelled a little sulfuric smell.
Yeah, but that's okay. We got to do laundry with warm water. Yeah. So that was good.
Yeah. But usually we just boil water and just use a 5-gallon bucket and just like wash our towels or wash our underwear that way. And
boiling
then just
water,
hang them up to dry, air dry.
Yep. And it works for us.
That's how it is. It's pretty simple. I wouldn't say it's much different than a house. The only difference is you have to conserve a lot more water. You don't have that much on board, and it's doable.
Sometimes we've been out for quite a while where we choose not to shower and to just jump in the the water really quick, and because we need drinking water, so we it's just a way to conserve it. But
yeah, that's happened a couple times after surfing. We just jump in the water and just
either that or you have to go a long way back to get it. So yeah.
Is there anything else we should say? Thanks, guys.
Hope this helps you out.
Yep, adventure lives in all of us.
All right,
love those guys.
Rob and Megan, thank you so much. You guys rock. So yeah, if you guys haven't already, check out Venture Lives. Everything that they do is awesome.
And they do have a 31.5-foot boat. So
yeah.
All right. Also, thank you so much, Sail Before the Sunset. Bottle of wine, yes. And then Factotum.
Factotum 1100.
Factotum 1100. Thank you very much. You're awesome.
Okay, and then one other one that I like, Carl Brook says washing one's butt is infinitely more important than one's hair.
That's really true.
And ironically, like if you're only washing yourself like once every couple days, it's a good point.
Yeah. Although someone was commenting about, their wife is concerned about washing her hair on board. And if you're jumping in the ocean a lot, it's really not that big of a deal. I hacked off my hair to be really short before we left, thinking it'd be a lot easier. And it was all right, but not so much more. And now I'm happy having long hair. So your wife's going to be just fine. Tell her to message me if she has any questions about hair.
Okay, and quick interjection. I always like doing this. How many beers in is everybody out there? I'm on number 3. So if you want to play with Atticus, you got to keep up.
All right.
Let me know. I'm curious.
All right. Talking about laundry, let's head over to Sailing Kittiwake's laundry video.
When we first set off, we tried to do all of our laundry on board. We had 2 buckets, one for salt water, one for fresh water, and we'd wash it first in salt and then rinse it in fresh and then hang it up. But we found that the clothes were kind of not really coming out right. They were still quite hard and crispy, and we found that the clothes were kind of degrading quite quickly. So instead we decided to mainly just use a laundrette. And for the amount of clothes that we go through, it's not very expensive at all really, because most of the time we're just wearing like a pair of shorts and a t-shirt, or Eleanor will be in a bikini and sometimes wearing a t-shirt and a pair of shorts or whatever. So we found that using a laundrette is actually easier. We have enough clothes that we only really need to go to the laundry about once a month. And usually then we haven't used all of our clothes, it's just the laundry bag's full. And each laundry at the laundrette normally costs about 8 to 10 euros, including drying. We store our clothes in sort of mesh zipped bags, and we find that's much better than just sticking them all in a drawer or something and then getting all mixed up, because it keeps them all tidy and neat. And then you can just, if you need a t-shirt, you just grab the particular bag that that's in. Eleanor has a bit more storage. She's got a kind of like mini half-height wardrobe type thing that we built. And then I've got a few little like storage lockers above the bed.
Oh boy, you caught us again doing some research.
Being bad over here.
Yeah, right? Yeah. You're lucky that we got clothes on. That was quick. Okay, just kidding. All right. Whew. All right.
Welcome, Boatworks today. Andy,
Whatever.
Jordan loves your channel. We both love your channel. You're
Oh,
amazing.
yeah,
Thanks for joining
Boatworks
us.
today. I'm glad you're on number 2. That's good. You're still staying sharp, man. But we really appreciate you coming on the live stream. If any of you guys are looking to do any kind of work on a boat and want to figure out where to get good information on how to work on your boat, you gotta check out Boatworks today, man. Like that guy. Without him, I'm not sure we would have been able to refit Atticus.
And someone was asking, it looks like you guys are in a hotel. We're actually at
It does look like that.
in a friend of ours' room, and it is actually a hotel room, essentially.
Sort of. And then Waukesha Pilot wins on the beers in
Nice.
5th-ish. And I like that. You're like, maybe 5. It's hard for me to say.
All right, well,
Yeah.
why don't we do Atticus chugs then?
Okay, are we
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, we're there.
Atticus Chug?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Atticus Chug! What's up? All right. Oh, Chase is back in the house. What's up,
Hey,
Chase?
Chase.
Glad you
Awesome.
came in, man.
Yeah, so we wanted to thank our new patrons, Living Our Best Story, JDM96121, Tim Former, Tommy Cockerham, and Kenneth Westby. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Boom, Atticus Chug to you.
Cheers.
Let's move on to comment of the week. All right, Donald Martinez says, P.S. That rusty machete is scarier than a shiny one. Love your content. Don't succumb to sexy thumbnails.
Although,
Thanks,
you
man.
know, I don't know. That's kind of sexy.
Super sexy.
Kind of sexy.
Gosh.
I mean, look at the, you know, that rage. I mean, there's anger there.
Yeah. Anger is
That's what
sexy.
I have to contend with right
Yeah.
there.
Actually,
This is my like daily, you know,
So-
like that's when like I don't do the dishes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oops, sorry, I didn't. That's what I see right there.
So when we do these thumbnails, Jordan studied film in college, so he's like, just act it out, like imagine you're attacking someone. So I'm running down the dock with this machete and like actually screaming, and the fishermen next to us are like, what is up with this girl? So yeah, we're a little kooky over here. All right, let's go into the Atticus ID challenge. This week we had a picture of a really cool kind of species that we found in the ocean, and I could not for the life of me figure out what it was, but Michael Drysdale from Aegis Adventures found it on Facebook, and he said he'd rather not unload the truth about how long it took him to find it. But check them out on Facebook and Instagram. They're in the Bahamas, have got some really cool content.
But I don't want to gloss over this. Like, he literally figured out exactly what species of jellyfish this thing was.
Yes.
Like, impressive.
Yeah,
Thanks, bro.
I took like 2 hours online trying to find it, and you found it, and you're awesome. Also, our YouTube subscriber, Brian Milby, knew what it was as well. So here's to you, Brian. Cheers.
Cheers.
And then-
And cheers to oops, wrong one, sorry. And cheers to Michael Drysdale. Cheers.
Cheers.
Chug.
And then we also said if you include a fact about jellyfish, we'll give you a shout out. So Bob Thompson said jellyfish don't pay rent, according to Jimmy Buffett. So that's fair. Here you go. We haven't heard that song, so we'll have to listen to it.
Yeah. Which is
and then Sailing Luana Cordelia said jellyfish are only found in 2 places on Earth, in the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. And he said that's a doctored line from a great movie. What movie is that from? Do you know?
No.
Let us know.
I don't. Cheers.
Awesome. Cheers. All right, so let's go back to laundry. A lot like, so essentially doing laundry on Atticus, I tried to do it by hand. And I don't think we have like really good buckets on board. We have one small 10-liter collapsible bucket, so it was just really inefficient. And I was trying to use salt water, so my clothes ended up a little bit like crusty and sticky. So once we got to Mexico, the laundry here is super, super cheap. So this is our Helios. The laundry here is super, super cheap, so we just take it in and get it done. And they fold it for you and return it to you, and it's pretty awesome. So yeah, and then like people have been asking us where we keep our clothes, and you know, if our clothing style has changed since we've been living on board. And I would say because Atticus is so small, we have really small like clothing compartments, so we have a video showing what they look like, and we have both kind of switched towards like very synthetic clothes. So this is like a Columbia dress. And Jordan loves his Mizzen and Main shirt that is his Ryan Gosling shirt.
Yes, that's true. Mizzen and Main is a really great company. Should I talk about it at all?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so Mizzen and Main, if you guys are sailors, and especially if you guys live on sailboats, this company that makes this shirt right here, they make like really nice dress shirts and even like just nice looking casual shirts that are like performance wear. So they're fast drying, sweat wicking or moisture wicking, and they're like wrinkle resistant material. And so they're just awesome if you live on a sailboat, live on a boat at all. This brand is awesome. Check them out, Mizzen and Main. A couple of comments I wanted to talk about real quick. Donald Martinez saw that he was the comment of the week. He says, carry on.
Oh, cool.
Rock on, Donald. Thanks for your awesome comment. And then there was one other one that I wanted to say. Oh, Factotum or the Turkish Guys. If you get stung by a jellyfish, you have to pee on the wound. That is a fact. That is a fact.
Also, another fact: if you get stung by a what are those called? The blue ones in Key West. Oh my gosh, the blue jellyfish that aren't really jellyfish. The 3 species.
Portuguese man o' war.
Yes, if you get stung by a Portuguese man o' war, the best thing to do is actually put the sting in really hot water. I think we read that urine actually exacerbates the problem. So does
most like vinegar, like all the normal tricks.
Yeah.
Don't really work.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. Anyways, you want to go into our laundry video real quick? Oh my gosh! What is this? Oh, I got a new wine glass.
Well,
how exciting!
That's nice. That's very
nice.
Huh.
Gosh.
Let's see how I want to see what the legs are like on this wine.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
Look at that.
Here, give it a swirl.
Mmm.
Here, show the camera what the legs are like.
Some nice legs right there.
See what the legs are. Yeah, weird. Okay, anyway.
Yeah. Hey, don't drink in my wine glass.
Hey, we got a surprise tonight. We've got Sailing Uma.
Which camera
All right, guys.
This one.
Hello, everyone.
With Project Atticus.
Hey,
if you guys want to see us talk
very
about
meta right
showering
now.
in the
So
water,
meta. So, all right.
head over to Project Atticus' live stream. We're going live right now.
So
It's been fun.
we are about to switch gears here. We've got Sailing Uma with us in the hotel room.
Yes.
With wine.
In the
Lots of
weird,
wine.
with a big thing. All right, we're gonna go into Uma mode.
Cool. There's a chair here. I'll take it.
Uma mode.
We're gonna come back to you actually.
Whoa, this is
Oh,
fun.
super.
Well, yeah, we'll come back there. So
We've
Oh,
already,
that's
Oh,
too
why?
loud.
we've already partaken in sundowners, so I apologize.
nice.
Do you guys have security cameras up here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you can see the bar.
Yeah, we can stalk on
That
people.
is crazy.
You saw us coming.
All right.
Oh, we could have. We weren't paying attention though. Yeah, I'll go right
Okay, so
there,
scoot
and then
back
we'll
a
scoot
little.
way back. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, that's
we all
perfect.
scoot back?
Yeah. So we'll try to get it.
This is a very small space.
Yeah.
Just like
Cool.
Hey, look at that.
Well,
We're like,
hello,
it's like a
everyone.
family portrait. We just
Cheese.
wave
Cheers,
to
guys.
grandpa.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
For everybody that has a drink with us, cheers to you.
Cheers, guys.
Gold.
Yeah, we've got Boatworks today is 2 beers in.
No way.
Hi,
Hi,
Andy.
Andy.
Hi.
Yeah. We've got a couple of people boozing it up with us tonight.
Good
Yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Well, what better? Yeah, the
Yeah.
sun just set here, so we're all well into our sundowners.
We're good.
Nice. Good to go.
So-
do you guys want to talk about how you shower on board?
Is that what we're talking about tonight?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Just real quick, just before
We
we
shower
spiral.
naked. That's,
That's the one thing that people should know about, right?
Yeah. Do you really in the cockpit, like in an anchorage?
yeah, always.
Yeah, so when we started,
nice.
we actually showered with one of those garden sprayers because
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
have a shower on board.
Like those Home Depot, like you spray your lawn with like Roundup garden sprayers.
Uh-huh.
We bought one before we left because we needed a shower and we didn't have one, and it was like $4. And
it
that was
was-
the
yeah.
only thing we could afford.
But it was great because you don't waste water at all. For like 1 gallon, we would both shower and
Yeah.
wash my hair and
Oh,
everything.
definitely. It's the most conservative way to shower on a boat
Mhm.
because, yeah, we would easily shower on 1 gallon of water between the two of us.
And then about 2 years later, we upgraded, and we got then made a little hose going in a cockpit, which is what we use right now.
Cool.
Yeah,
And,
and
yeah, we
like
just
the grenadines,
showered
I
in
think.
cockpits.
We plumbed some
Yeah.
PVC and got like a real like shower. But we wait till the sun goes down and then we shower, which means it's cold.
Yeah.
Which means showering doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
Yeah. In
Yeah.
fact, that's something that we've been talking about. Have you guys talked at all about getting one of those on-demand propane heaters?
Not propane, because actually when we get back to Florida, we're getting rid of our propane.
Yeah, we
Whoa.
are.
We
Yeah,
have,
big surprise.
Controversy.
Right. We have an alcohol stove waiting for us in Florida. We also have a new Go Sun grill and a Go Sun Go waiting for us. So we're going to be like no propane on our boat
Yeah.
after we get
And
back
why
to
is
Florida.
that?
We don't like the idea of living
Yeah.
in a bomb.
Yeah.
Well, we got the
You can blow
propane because it was kind of our
Super
only
cheap.
option at the time when we were in Haiti. We found a
Super
super cheap propane and a super cheap like little stove, the propane stove. And we always knew that I was going to be temporary, so we didn't really bother making a permanent
Yeah.
installation for
Mhm.
it. But yeah, as soon as we get in the States, we're going to get our alcohol stove, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah.
And, like a little secret, we're getting an actual toilet.
Yeah, it's really
Don't
exciting.
ruin this surprise.
Only the people on the live chat will know about
Okay,
this.
yeah,
but
don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say, hey, SB Someday.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
You're
guys.
welcome.
Really appreciate it. Cheers. Cheers to SB.
Cheers one more time.
Cheers.
Do you cheers every time somebody comes
I have
on
a
your-
freaking styrofoam cup. This is like the worst thing to cheers with ever.
I know.
You
Let
can
me
always
know
pour
when
it
you
in
need a
one
beer. I got
Yeah,
some
we've
for
got
you.
a beer with your name on it when you're ready. Or
But-
wine.
This
Okay,
is always
so-
the awkward thing to drink.
I know,
because,
right?
oh.
But that's actually something I wanted to bring up was we were talking earlier about how when it comes to a lot of aspects of living on a sailboat, there's a spectrum. So you'll have people on the like cheaper side and the more expensive side of everything.
Yep.
The hot
Showering.
water maker, like shower unlimited
Showering
all day
is
long
one
on a
of
boat. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so is like your toilet system. And so I did want to ask you guys about your toilet system. Most
Everyone
of you
does.
guys know about it. But no, because there's a long, like, there's a very long history of like sailors using the toilet system that you guys have.
Yeah.
And yet, like, people.
There's a word for it. It's called bucket and chuck it.
Yeah. It's called
Ask
There you go.
any sailor, they know what bucket and chuck it is
Yeah.
because that's what they've been doing for 1,000 years.
It's called the non-existent toilet.
Oh, we got,
Right.
whoa, what? Captain Fish, $20.
Cheers!
On
yeah.
Sailboat
Cheers,
Sunset.
guys.
Tom from Sail Before the Sunset, thank
That
you so
is
much.
awesome.
You guys are awesome.
Can we all
Oh,
say
by the
clink?
way,
Because this
yeah.
is pathetic.
Yeah.
You have plastic,
Yeah.
I have styrofoam, you have tin, and she has like a...
I have glass for enough.
There you
of
go.
us.
Yeah, she's
I have glass for all of us.
representing.
There you go. Did you tell everybody about your tattoo yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, this is the perfect time.
Surprise number
We
one.
have
Tattoo buddies
matching
now.
tattoos, by the way.
Not
We're
matching.
testing. Can you like show it?
Yeah,
easily?
yeah.
Just pull a string.
So just to preface
Easily,
this,
I'm not
just the other
sure.
day we went to get tattoos together.
You should show yours first.
Mine's easier to show. Well,
Just hold like
okay.
that, bud.
Just
Well,
do
but this is the way you should see it.
Trying to-
So you guys can maybe make out it's my favorite shape, triangle, and my second favorite shape, circle. Okay, just kidding. So this is my abstract, like, sort of image of a sailboat, like, sailing across the sun to someone viewing from a distance. So there you go. That's my sailor tattoo, and then
Mine is
this
a little-
Kika's.
Alright, Kika.
All right.
Um,
I'm just gonna lift
hike
my
it
leg
up
now.
there and-
Yeah,
All right.
right.
Where's the? This
That's
is
the
the camera.
camera.
That's
It's
the
gonna be
camera.
hard. All right. My tattoo is like
Let me know if you
here.
need help.
Wait, can you see right here?
I gotcha. Sorry.
This is it. It's a one-line anchor
That's such
tattoo
an
drawing.
awkward shot.
Gymnastics.
I promise nobody saw anything.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so I got my first tattoo, and Jordan has his second tattoo, and
And
they're not there
I
yet.
have a tattoo, and Desiree's a virgin.
Yeah,
A tattoo
next time. Next time.
Yeah.
that gives us something to look forward to for next time we meet up.
We'll get
That's
matching
true.
tattoos next time.
I know, yeah, that's what it is. Dan and Desiree are gonna have to get tattoos.
Yeah,
The
the
D's.
2 D's, yeah.
Double D.
Okay, so what was it?
We were talking about compost head.
No, douche it and chuck it, or what was it?
Bucket and chuck
Bucket and chuck.
Bucket and chuck it.
So,
Don't douche.
Yeah,
so
don't.
You should check it.
You
our
can douche
head,
if you want.
our head for the last 2 years has been very similar to our shower in that it was the only thing we could afford when we left the dock, and it's just continued to work since we left.
Yep.
And it's basically a Home Depot bucket that says, let's do this on the front, and we add peat moss to it, so it's more like a mobile outhouse, I guess.
Something like that.
But it works really well. It doesn't smell. We've been able to find peat moss everywhere we've gone, so it hasn't really been an issue. But it does mean that we're constantly forgetting to dump our head before we get into an anchorage, which means we wait till nightfall and dump it like everyone else in an anchorage does.
Or we wait till we go sailing.
Because fun fact, nowhere outside of the United States has a pump out station. So if you've got a holding tank, you're dumping it in the middle of an anchorage like everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, like here in Isla Mujeres, when you check in, they tell you you can't dump into the water. You have to go to the pump out station. And it turns out the closest pump out station is in Key West.
Oh
Like,
my
literally.
gosh! Wow.
So we're all going to sail
700.
400 miles to have our holding tanks
And
laid
it's a
down.
come back.
Doesn't make
In
any
a
sense
week.
at all.
With a lot more.
But yeah, we do have a flushing head waiting for us in Florida, sent to us by Dometic. They've
Yep.
been an amazing collaboration.
Collaboration. We've been
They've had the last
collaborating with
couple
them.
months,
They're the ones
but
providing the.
We're really excited for it, actually.
Yeah, the toilet and the alcohol stove.
Like push
provided
a
by
button
them.
and our
Very
head is
cool.
gonna flush, and we're gonna be very excited for that.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be great.
Yeah, and so like we were talking about like how a lot of people think like, you know, you make a lot of sacrifices living on a boat, but do you really think it's like that has like negatively affected your
I
lifestyle that
Not
much?
really.
I
It's,
think it depends on your comfort level.
Yeah.
Like how
us in our
comfortable do
late
you want
20s,
to
our
be?
comfort level's like down
Yeah,
by the floor, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
Your
fun.
setup is like all awesome. Guys.
Right.
Like they have like a control panel here,
Yeah.
computer
So-
screen,
Yeah.
control panel there, and then the camera here.
I
Oh,
saw
and
a
then
comment a
security
second
cameras.
ago about sort of water usage. I guess that ties into showering,
Yeah.
like how we get our water, because showering is probably one of the biggest uses of water on our boat. Probably your guys' boat too, right?
Oh,
like
for
washing
sure.
dishes and showering is the only thing you use water for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drinking is minimal.
So we get our water by collecting rainwater usually, or sometimes if it's really dry, like down in Colombia, we would get it from a dock or from a marina and bring it out in our dinghy. How do you guys get your water? You don't have a water maker, do you?
No, we have a little like pirate hose, and then when we find like a freshwater spigot, we just fill up our tanks also.
Yeah.
And
And
we-
here in Isla, water's free, which is awesome.
Yeah. And we actually used to drink the water here in Isla, and you can drink, you're not going to get sick.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of minerals in it, so it tastes really nasty. So it's
Fair
kind of
enough.
like drinking from a cenote. So we just buy our
Yeah.
drinking water here because it's
And that's
it's
also
not that
relatively
expensive.
inexpensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 30 pesos for 5 gallons, which is $1 for 5 gallons.
If you already have the bottle,
Which
the bottle
saves you an endless amount of agony. if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
Get bad water.
Yeah,
Right,
totally.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And you guys actually inspired us. We were trying to make our water maker before we left Isla Mujeres
Mhm.
so that we can continue cruising. But you guys were like, everywhere in the Caribbean,
There's
has
water
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
usually it's cheap.
I've heard in the
aside from
South
States.
Pacific
Yeah.
might be a little bit harder to find fresh water, but in the Caribbean, even if you have to pay for it, which is very rare, you're paying like 10 cents a gallon or
Yeah.
16 cents a gallon. Like in the BVI's, I think was the most expensive water we paid for, and it was 16 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
So we filled up our boat for like $20, got a 6-pack of beer, tied up to a dock, and then left 20 minutes later, and it was fine. We've never had an issue running out of fresh water. It's
Yeah.
always everywhere.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's free, and sometimes you have to pay for it, and it's not that much.
well, ironically, like we have cruised way less than you guys. You guys have seen the entire Caribbean. We've just been to Cuba and here, and I think we've already visited the hardest part of the Caribbean to get fresh
Cuba,
water.
for sure.
I mean, it's just it's hilarious because that's
So
why
like-
Desiree and I were thinking we really need a water maker because
Yeah.
that's our brief
No,
experience.
Cuba's the exception. The rest of the Caribbean's
Yeah.
a lot easier.
Right.
Yeah, I think we were scarred by Cuba. We're like, we need water.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
almost have to prepare everything before you go to to
Yeah.
Cuba. It's kind of
Yeah.
like camping for
Yeah.
3 weeks if you stay there.
Exactly. We
Right.
went through all of our food on board almost.
Yeah.
Because actually, you guys are about to run into that problem. Like, we, early on in Haiti, decided to go through the rest of the Caribbean first before going to Cuba, because we didn't have like 6 months of content ready to upload to YouTube. Because there's no internet there. So I guess there's sort of a reason that YouTube creators haven't really gone to Cuba, is just because it's difficult.
Yeah.
Unless you have like a ton of backlog footage that you can like edit and get out there.
Yeah. In fact, if you guys check out Trio Travels' channel, who
Yeah.
we didn't get to their video.
Let's do it real quick, actually. Before
Okay.
we forget.
We met them in San Juan, actually. Super cool people.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
There you go, right
We
on.
love them.
Yeah, we
So-
pulled in the same anchorage and we caught each other looking through each other through binoculars and we were like, oh shit, it was really
Yeah,
funny.
it is really funny.
And then they came over to the dinghy, they're like, hey, we know you. We're like, hey, I think we know you guys too. It was
And what's up, Amateur Sailing Channel?
Yay!
Hey, guys.
Hey guys!
Yeah.
Excited to see you guys again soon.
Yeah, we're coming back to Florida like in a couple of weeks. We need to hang out.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, we'll check out Trio Travels' talk about their showering and laundry situation.
Yeah,
but
and
They
just
have a
to-
washing machine, by the way, like
Yeah.
super
They do?
fancy.
Yeah. Let's go to their video.
But real quick, if you guys are interested on seeing a sailing channel do Cuba, they're one of the only
They
yeah.
already
people
did it, yeah.
that I know have done
Yeah.
it. And their episodes that are coming out right now are from the south coast of Cuba. But regardless, here's their shower and laundry situation.
And play.
Nice.
And hold
play.
on and play. Okay. And okay.
And
We'll
eventually,
Come on, Jordan, you can do it.
we'll just
Hey guys, it's Brad and Krista from Trio Travels coming to you from southwestern BC. We had a bit of a family emergency to come back to, so that's why we're not on the boat.
We have 160 gallon fresh water holding capacity, which is quite a bit. The three of us use about 12 gallons a day for drinking,
Cooking, washing, everything.
showering, and we have a water maker. So we're extra spoiled, we think anyways, and we're happy about it.
We have 3 showers, one in each hull inside the boat, and then one on the transom, and that really is our favorite one, especially when we're doing a lot of swimming and snorkeling and stuff.
Yeah.
We use that one mostly. We put shampoo and conditioner on the transom, and that's what we use. And then as far as laundry goes, we are kind of spoiled in that department too. When we first did our refit, we were looking for options on having an inboard washing machine, and it turns out that the ones that they put in the new cats, the Splendide version, is about $2,500. So we thought there has to be a cheaper option, and we found it. And if you're interested, you can find the link on our website, triotravels.ca. It's called a Panda washer. $250 will get you one, and we've had ours for almost 4 years now, and it does not owe us a cent. It's amazing.
It's plastic. It's made in China, but that makes it really light, and it does a great job. Burns hardly any amperage, maybe 2-3 amps with the electric motor, and Krista can do a load of laundry in 1.5 gallons of water. So,
Which a load would be the equivalent of like a fitted sheet for a queen-size bed with 2 pillowcases, and yeah, it's super light. We store it in one of the forward cabins and then move it into the bathroom to fill it up with water and to drain it. We don't shower like real showers every day or anything like that. It's just if you're swimming a lot, you don't really need to.
it's definitely not a shower like we're enjoying, or Cole's enjoying inside right now. You know, 5-10 minute showers. It's maybe 1-2 minute showers. But
and we don't
the way
really
it
use the
goes.
hot water either because we're in hot climates.
We
so-
do have hot water. We have electrical hot water, which burns about 46 amps an hour when we put it on, so it's hard on the batteries. But it also runs through our diesel engine, so we run the starboard engine and
We get hot water from that.
we get hot water. There's an airplane flying by.
Squirrel. All right, that's Trio Travels report. We're out.
Thanks, Jordan.
See you
Thanks,
guys.
See ya.
All right, we are back, and Kika is refilling her empty
Wine vase.
wine vase.
My fishbowl.
That's right. So real quick, I did want to say I really apologize. Trio Travels and Sailing Zingaro
Hey, guys.
are the 2 channels that I know of that have really good content on Cuba.
And I think
And what's up, James? What's going on, buddy? Glad to have you, man.
And Kimmy. And I
And
think
Kimmy.
I think Sail Libra does a lot of videos in Cuba as well.
That's super
Oh,
cool.
there you go.
So
Okay.
there's a lot of people actually.
So, like, we're the only ones who haven't
We
been to
haven't.
Cuba?
Yes. Right. Don't
Well,
worry.
like, it's a
Don't
change.
worry. There's
Oh.
like somewhere around 3,000 sailing channels.
Yeah.
now, so
Yeah.
Oh, no, for real. There's a lot now. Super cool.
Yeah, awesome. So we got a couple questions for you guys, if you wanted to.
For us guys?
Yeah, and then also you guys.
I mean, like it was totally unplanned that we showed up. But you guys just happened to have questions.
Knowing we're
in
gonna
case we ended up coming.
Yeah, just in the off.
Hoping, you know, crossing fingers.
What do you got for us?
And then also, if you guys our viewers have any questions for Sailing Uma, just have at it. I've got my little interface here, so we can do that.
Yeah,
but first of all, you know, we both bought cheap boats and took a lot of time to like, get them ready to go in sailing, and put a lot of money into it. Now that you've done that, would you recommend for another couple to do that, or like, what are your feelings about that experience now?
Like buying a super cheap boat and spending a lot of time and effort on it.
I think it depends.
Or spending that time and effort on making money.
Yeah, we get that all the time. Like, you guys should have just worked for 5 more years and bought a better boat. But for us, like, you can either invest your time or your money. And we had a lot of time and we wanted to learn. And so we decided to invest all of our time in our boat.
And also because we realized that we can work on the boat as we travel.
Yeah.
So we don't have to stay in one place and work on the boat, or make money to work on the boat, and then 5 years later we start our journey. We can work on the boat here and then travel somewhere else, go to you know, Guatemala and work on the boat, and come to Mexico and work on the boat, and it's still, you know, we're still traveling. And I don't know if you guys saw that under this video, but we kind of got a little bit overwhelmed on that.
A little bit.
2 months of boat work, so we are slowing down a little bit, but it's not impossible to travel and work on your boat at the same time, which for us we felt was the
compared to 20, 30 years ago. I mean, there's so many marinas and so many like budget marine and ship chandleries everywhere you go. You can find the stuff you need to fix your boat without like waiting 3 months in Tahiti to have something airmailed in to fix it.
Yeah, that was the thing.
And that was
we
sort of our
thought.
theory, was like, we'll just do it as we go. We sort of have 2 to-do lists, like the one we need to finish before we can leave the anchorage, and the one we have that, like, hypothetically someday it'll be nice to take care of. And the one we need to finish before we leave the anchorage is usually really short. It's like replace the broken line and like clean the bottom of the boat, and it's usually 3 or 4 things that we have to do. And then the rest is like, we'll do it next time, we'll do it next time. And
I would definitely say, I would definitely say, just figure out what your comfort zone is. Like, do you really need a shower right now? Do you rather have a toilet or a poop bucket? And from there, prioritize. See what you need to do before you leave, and see what you need to do before next year. And
it's certainly possible. I mean, we bought our boat for $3,000. By the time we left Florida, we weren't in it for more than $10,000, which is nothing when it comes to sailboats.
No, that's
but
like,
all we had was like a dinghy that we could row, sails and an anchor, and a floating hull. Like, that was it. We barely had a motor. We didn't have a fridge. We didn't have water. We didn't have anything else. But we're like, we can make do with what we have, and we'll figure out what we need later.
And I think a lot of couples who are getting ready to start sailing, like, they don't know, they always feel like there's another project that they need to get to. How did you guys make the decision, like, okay, like, now we're going, this is happening?
One step at a time.
For sure. No, we decided very early on that, like, if we could sail our boat 10 miles, which is how far away the horizon is, if we could sail to the horizon, then we could sail 10 more miles, and we could sail 10 more miles. But we never planned on, like, getting a blue water, like, let's go sail around the world sailboat together before we left. We were just like, if we can sail to Fort Lauderdale, that's cool. If we can sail to Miami, that's even better. And then, you know, the Bahamas is 60 miles away. I'm sure we can sail there. And we always just took it like one island at a time. And if we needed to fix something or repair something before we made it to the next island, we would. But you really don't need much. I mean, there's people that go through the Caribbean on, like, stand-up paddleboards. You know, so like, you don't need much to sail through the Caribbean.
Plan right.
Your longest passage might be 60 miles. Like, it's not far.
And I've said this on our live streams before, like, I wish that we would have left a little bit earlier than we did, specifically because when you're preparing to cruise, it's very hard for you to know what you need to do for cruising. Like, how you need to prepare your boat, what kind of, like our sun awning and stuff like that is a good example. Like, when you're actively cruising,
you need that at anchor, but when you're sailing, you don't need a sun awning.
Well, exactly. Well, but no, I like our sun awning, but I would have designed it slightly different had I a little bit of cruising under my belt.
Yeah, because you would know what you need for your boat that's already.
We got that question a lot. Is like, how did we know what we needed? And we're like, well, we knew we could sail our boat 10 miles. So we sailed at 20 and see if she needed something else. We sailed at 40 and see if she needed something else.
Yeah.
And when we needed something, we would install it or build it or design it. But until we needed it, we just didn't do it. And up until now, like, we've only needed to, motor for half a mile. That's why we don't have any better batteries, because we've never needed to.
Yeah.
But we will need to if we go to Europe.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
it's
I
time
mean,
to
we
upgrade.
plan on motoring a lot more than half a mile, but throughout the entire Caribbean, we've never needed to.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's so much to be said for, like, if you're not sure if you're gonna need something, or if you're not sure exactly what design you'd like, there's so much to be said for just get out there and cruise without it.
Wait and see if you actually need it or
Yeah,
not.
totally.
Sure. Like
'Cause
water
there's-
makers, for sure.
There's so, like, that was so much of our, like, struggle when we were in Key West trying to figure out what to do. It's just like, what do you actually need? What does it need to look like? How should it look? Like, all that stuff that comes with the experience. Just get out there with the bare minimum, and then you'll know exactly how you want to adjust your boat.
We've actually seen and met people sailing little, like, 20-foot, 22-foot wooden sailboats, single sail rigs, that when they're pulling up their anchor, they're doing it by hand, and there's like a cinder block attached to the end of the rope, and they're sailing around the Caribbean. Like, you just don't need anything to do it.
Although, I agree with you at a certain limit.
If your comfort level is down here.
No. I think before your comfort level, make sure that you have the appropriate anchor. I think the anchor is the most important equipment you can have on the boat.
No, just
invest in a good anchor, because dragging your boat and losing your boat just because your anchor wasn't holding isn't worth it. Like,
you guys
for an
know
extra
all
couple
about it.
hundred, invest in it.
Yeah, exactly.
You have the stories to tell us.
This
You
past
guys all know
Monday,
what
I
we're
think,
talking about.
we posted something on Instagram of like this nasty storm coming through. This past Monday, a really strong front came through, and we were like the first boat in the anchorage, and we didn't drag. Atticus was right behind us. Half the anchorage got, right? Because you guys just got to Mantis. Good job, welcome to the club.
Right.
And so half the anchorage just started like just taking off through the anchorage.
It was
like,
more than half.
like, what is going
I
on?
think
There's
we were
boats after
one of the
boats after
only
boats
boats, maybe
going
3 or
by.
4
Here's
boats in there.
Uma. Here's us. Here's like
The
10
whole
boats.
anchorage going by.
Crazy.
And
And
some
it
of them
just blows my
were
mind.
dragging sideways. You're like, oh my gosh, poor
Yeah,
boat. Like,
it
dude,
was-
get an anchor, get
it
an
was
anchor.
crazy.
Yeah.
Anchors are not that expensive considering how expensive it is for insurance and considering how expensive it is to replace your boat or fix your boat.
Or
I
fix
mean,
another person's boat.
or fix another person.
Or fix
Because
that.
your crappy little $3,000 sailboat might crash into someone's $1 million sailboat,
Yeah.
and that's even more expensive.
Yeah.
So for $500, just do yourself a favor and buy a good anchor.
Your
It's
best
just
insurance,
not worth
your
not
best
having one.
insurance is a good anchor.
Yeah.
An anchor you can trust.
Your best offense
Yeah.
is a good defense.
And Venture Lives is here, and they're saying they have a
Hi, Megan.
Mantis as well.
Hey.
So yeah, Mantis all the way. Although
And Rockna.
and
Or
Rockna.
Rockna.
I'm not
Rockna.
kidding. We have both, so.
Hey,
And here's
Hey,
to
both.
Navarra. He said, sometimes when the wind blows, it beseeches me to follow on the wings of chance to wherever, whatever may lie on the distant horizon. Other times it just makes my hair stick out funny.
Hey.
Cheers.
Hey.
cheers to that epic
Cheers.
Dan's head can fit inside the glass.
What?
Hello. Hey,
That's
Jordan.
great.
Jordan,
Yeah.
you hear this?
Oh yeah, it's time
Yeah,
for beer.
I hear it,
Beer
and
clock.
I'm on it.
Beer clock.
Ron Travis says,
Cheers, buddy.
do you guys try to sail with a buddy boat? Have you
No.
guys done that at all?
Never.
Actually, we
once.
did, and
Once.
that was coming from Curacao going to Colombia. We sailed with you guys might be familiar with the St. Charles Sea Change.
Sea change. Super
The
cool
boat
guys.
is
Brandon
named
and
Cool
Scott.
Change.
Super
Yeah.
cool guys.
So we sailed from Curacao to Colombia with them, and we did 2 different routes actually, and we ended up meeting each other in the middle.
It
And,
wasn't.
yeah.
It wasn't like a proper buddy boat. Like we weren't like 1 mile apart. We kind of left at the same time from the same port, and we knew we were gonna both show up at the same destination. But we had a different route planned, and they went further offshore. And in the middle of the night, on like the 3rd day, they came right across our bow.
Oh,
And we
no
got on the
kidding.
radio. And we're like, "Cool change,
change?
cool change." And they're like, "Hey guys, what's going on?" It was hilarious because we were like the only boat out there.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, after 3 days and 300 miles, we ended up being within 4 boat lengths of each other. It was
Yeah.
so cool.
That's crazy.
But then they beat us there because they were going a little more downwind. And
They
we were
had more
going a little-
sail out.
Yeah, they were
and-
going hard.
Gotcha.
But no, we don't really do buddy boating. Like, it's one thing to be in the same anchorage and you all ride the same weather window to the next place and
Right.
you all meet up for
And you
drinks when you
happen to
get
be
there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean, being a buddy boat means you have like a similar sail plan, a similar sail length, a similar sail experience, a similar hull design, because it's really hard to keep boats the same speed. And I just don't quite see the point. Like maybe through like pirate-infested waters, you might see the point. But
Did you hear this coming?
amped up.
Danaroo.
I'm amped up. I'm just happy to be hanging out with my friends.
He was drinking a weird mix that Jordan actually taught him.
Oh.
Like a beer and rum
Beer and
mix.
rum.
Really weird.
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really
No,
With the
weird.
beer
so
floater.
in our defense, we were hanging out with Michelle. If you caught our earlier live chat, she's a fellow Canadian and bartender here at Skulls. We hung out on our boat for sundowners.
The very first sundowners.
And then we
actually.
came to drop her off, and we decided to come crash your guys' live chat.
Nice.
So he has a couple drinks in his belly and his
Nice.
head, I guess.
Nice.
Don't judge
It's okay. He's not driving home. Neither am I.
Yeah, that's true. We're not driving home.
And then Josh Burns asked, Jordan, any plans to do some new excursions? I think he's referring to like temples and things like that.
Oh, we actually are thinking of doing something, the four of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
I don't know
some
what we're gonna do.
very exciting ideas swarming around.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit sick right now, so today I popped some like NyQuil, and as I was like in my like medicine-induced fog, I like
Some
You had an enlightenment?
yeah, I had like a tentative scavenger hunt idea, and I was like,
This could be fun.
I could do this.
Yeah.
We should do it live. A live.
That would be fun, yeah.
We came up with a name for our little team right here. It's called the Atticus Project.
Yeah,
Mm.
nice.
Sailing
Sailing
Atticus
Sailing
Project.
Atticus.
I like
Yeah.
Sailing
That's
Atticus.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really good.
That is
Limited
really good.
edition.
Let's all pitch in. Let's get like a Neil 54, and then
Yeah. Sell Atticus, sell Uma, get a real boat.
let's get Neil to give us a 54-foot trimaran,
Yeah,
and we'll
right.
just take off into the sunset.
Right.
That's awesome.
Oh man, we can
No.
all get naked all the time.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
You know?
No,
Blur
so
out the video.
in our last-
Thumbnails
in the video
galore.
we posted this morning, we got some comments about like, because we were doing laundry, and they're like, well, if you sail naked, you don't have to do laundry. And we're like, well, if we
Touche.
sailed naked, we'd have hours of editing out all of like the
Right.
nipples
Yes.
and penises and blurring it all out for you guys. So no,
Hopefully just one penis.
we
right?
have. Well, yeah,
Penises, like,
You never know.
how many are we aboard?
I believe it's P9.
penile.
Yeah. One penis, two penis. Okay, that's taking it. too
Sometimes
far.
we have to put clothes on just to film. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life on
feel
the
ya.
boat is
I
hard.
feel ya.
Get real.
Ruben
Get
Santos
real.
just gave us $20.
$20.
Thank you guys. a
Drinks
lot.
are on you
Ruben.
tonight, buddy.
Thank you
And-
very much.
Did we think the last one?
You hear that?
Yeah.
We hear that?
Yeah, I read the quote.
Oh wow. Oh.
Oh, so you guys know probably the Buddha thing that you go around and it goes. I can do the same thing.
Nice.
It's like,
Shh, everyone quiet. Go up to the camera. Everyone quiet. Ready? Guys, listen.
and-
Ready?
Yeah.
We're zenned out right now.
That's good.
All right.
All right, last question for you guys. So
All right.
we came into Project Atticus with pretty much zero boat skills. It sounds like you guys did as well.
Welcome to the club.
And we came in with very little money. Sounds like you guys did as well.
That's why we get along so well.
Right.
We're so
Yeah,
similar.
we're broken, we're useless.
We're just
But you guys are still here. You're kicking. Like you've seen the Caribbean. What
We
do you
haven't
think?
died yet.
What do you think it is that makes a successful like cruiser? Like what is it? If it's not money and it's not like experience,
Yeah.
knowing how to do boat refits.
Is it like a
We like to
personality
joke.
or?
We like to joke because people are like, oh, like when I got a boat, I didn't know anything about sailing. We're like,
Nobody
one was
is
born
born-
knowing how to
yeah.
sail. Like everyone learned somewhere at some time.
Everybody starts without knowing it.
We
And
happened to
whether
learn
it's
after we bought our
yeah.
boat, but some people learn by taking classes or courses. But like everyone learns how to sail eventually.
yeah, whatever makes you comfortable into learning it. Like
Mhm.
our the way we learned was on our boat,
Yeah,
and
for
what we sailed with a race before for a couple months, and then our friend Bradley taught us basically how to use our boat.
Yeah.
Because I think every boat is
To
so
push our
different
boat.
that once you know how to operate your boat, then that's when you know how to sail your
Yeah,
boat.
yeah.
Because you can learn how to sail another boat, and as soon as you get your own boat, you're like, wait, shit, this is different. This is not the same
That
at all.
is kind
you
of
have to
a really
learn
good-
again.
That is a really good question though, because learning how to sail a boat takes an afternoon. Like boats sail themselves. If you want a boat to go in a certain direction, all you need to do is like pull some ropes a bit until the sails start flapping, and then the boat moves forward. Like it's so easy.
Come on, guys, have you seen
But-
Moana? She's self-taught. Like she
But no,
was
it's
trying,
true, like,
and then
after-
wind flaps, and then you try again.
After like 3 years and I don't know 5,000 miles or something, I think it's just like the willingness to adapt to like changing situations because no two sailing trips are the same. Like every time you go out, the wind is different, the sailing and the sea different, and something else breaks and something else works, and like
You're always
it's
learning.
so different. So I would say just being able to adapt and being able to
That's a great
like go with the flow. I mean, it sounds stupid.
Surrender to nature because she's more powerful than you.
For sure. Mother Nature will kick your ass if you try to fight it.
So yeah, instead of trying, like, don't have an ego and don't say, oh, we're gonna make it anyway. Like we're here because we changed our coast because it was too rough for us and we were not comfortable. And
yeah, that's true. That's
and because they really wanted to meet us.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to explain like the day we anchored here? Because that's a pretty good story.
That was funny. I mean, they pretty much like we're just going about our. Luckily, it was our day off.
Luckily, you were not naked.
Lucky you guys had clothes.
I was.
Yeah, that's true. You came out a couple of seconds later.
The dress.
Yeah, it was just a Sunday, and like I can't remember what I was. Oh, we got a knock on the hull, and I was like, damn it, like
again, one of those fans.
No, it was gonna be like somebody that like needed something from us, and I popped my head out. I see Dan and Kika, and then like. I mean, you guys all know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like when you see someone on a screen only, it inhabits like a certain part of your brain. And then when you see those faces in real life, you're like, there's like a short circuit, and you're like, wait a minute, no, am I looking at a screen?
Am I drunk?
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I was like, hey!
It was really good.
Because we had fully planned on sailing from the Rio de Janeiro,
That's a long trip.
The Rio Dulce up to Florida, but the wind just turned and like we were having pretty rough sail, and we're like, you know what? Let's just go park it in Isla Mujeres for a little while. Yeah. And we kind of knew. I think we knew you guys were here, but we didn't know if you were still here. And we came in the anchorage and we anchored and we like got the, we finally sat down. We're like, oh, finally we're here. I got the binoculars out, and we're like, I think that's Atticus. Like they're still here. We got the ding and we went and knocked on your boat. It was really funny.
That's awesome.
So much fun.
And then we like hung out for like
12 hours.
All day.
Maybe like 14 hours.
Just on your boat.
Really, on the boat, and then
at the bar.
Yeah.
And then
And there's a chance that Kika, myself.
Just you two. No,
was it just us two?
No. These two jumped in the pool.
Yeah, we had a little swim.
Yeah. And there's a
These
chance
two danced on the bar.
that we danced on the bar top, which you can't tell with us seated, but there's a big height disparity.
like a 2-foot height disparity.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, let's show them how much
We gotta
different
stand way over there.
Because I mean, you guys know I'm short, but this is another level. Like, check this out. Like,
You're not even.
I'm still not in the
You're not even in the frame. What?
That's funny.
You should give us a reenactment of the dancing on the bar.
No,
I don't think we know
I would
how
if
it
I could
happened.
remember it.
Exactly. I don't think
Right.
we remembered how it
Anyway.
happened.
All right, we got a really good
I'm pretty
question.
sure it was to Bonnie Tyler.
Really good question here. Sailing the Great Blue says, hey, we are new to living abroad. We have a 1,300 aboard. We have a 1,300 nautical mile crossing, and we had a 1,300 nautical mile crossing and seem to be stuck in our destination. How do you guys afford cruising? P.S. We love your videos. Thank you for the awesome question and the cool compliment. And I would say for Jordan and I, we've just been finding work as we go. So we do a lot of sewing, we do a lot of painting jobs. We dabbled in doing like little projects like tinkering with people's like Wi-Fi and like boat sitting, but in the end we found out that those little jobs aren't really worth our time because it takes so much effort to get to their boat. It takes more time than it's worth. So we like finding big sewing jobs and like big fiberglass or painting jobs.
Yeah, so like one of the main ways we got paid this year was I was a part of a team that built an extension to like a 58-foot Bertram. So it was like a 7-foot extension to a boat. So I mean, like literally, like the bigger the project, the better the money was. I've also found that underwear modeling has really paid well.
Oh, me too, totally.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
These guys are really good boxer modelers. That's how we earn our
As
money.
maybe you
right?
saw in our last video.
Nice.
Captain Pinsless Morgan.
So if you guys don't, we will. They're also on Patreon. We make since we left Florida, we've made most of our income through Patreon and YouTube analytics, which means that we don't necessarily have to find like actual contract work. which has been amazing. So thanks if any of our patrons are watching, and if you guys don't support these two on Patreon, you totally should, because they've just started their season 2, which is awesome, and they're going to be doing a lot more sailing in the future.
Yeah.
But it's a really good way to keep us sailing channels sort of going, because without you guys we wouldn't be able to keep sailing and doing our thing. So.
And personally, it gets us to focus more on videoing for you guys, because you guys are the reason why we're doing it too. So.
No, we often joke we have 4 full-time jobs, which is like refitting a boat, vlogging, which actually is a full-time job, and then we have cruising, which is also a full-time job, and we actually still run architectural projects back in the United States, which is also a full-time job, which is the next one we're trying to get rid of by getting like more and more patrons and more views and everything like that. We'll be able to sort of like back down on that, which will give us more time to make more videos and more content. And you guys are probably the same. Like you guys would probably love to make more videos and stop grinding fiberglass.
And then back to the question, which is an amazing question, which is probably a question that most sailing channels get.
Aren't you independently wealthy? Like, are you living on Daddy's trust fund? Like, how do you afford to cruise?
And my answer is
yes.
Try to get as much as you can for free.
Yeah.
Like if you go, I don't know, like there's even travelers, not just sailors, but people that travel for a living, there's a way that you can ask if they want a promotion and they will give you an accommodation for free, or you go to a restaurant, you ask if they want a promotion on your sailing channel and they will give you a meal for free. Because our generation is all about social media and people know about you through social media. So if there's a chance that the word can come out that, hey, you know what, we're at Skull's Landing right now, you should, when you guys come to somewhere else, you should totally come to this bar. They will love it. And so social media is the future basically.
It's true. So. And then also beyond that, if you're good at social media with your own blog, you could also outsource social media, like consulting for other companies.
That's true. You did that for a wedding company.
I did that, and I did photography. We were actually going to help a wedding company start a vlog. And we were kind of surprised about how much we knew about analytics and tagging and all that.
When you have to kind of build your own sort of social media empire by yourself, you learn a lot.
So don't sell yourself short. Like if you want to get out there and start sailing and you have your own blog, like you know a lot more than you think you do.
Yeah, and there's a lot of brick and mortar stores out there that don't know how to post things on Instagram and what works and what doesn't, and making short promotional YouTube videos. There's a lot of ways you can make money just on social media.
There's a fine line between investing, and knowing how to market yourself and selling out. And a lot of people think that because you're promoting, because you're having advertising, is selling out. It's not selling out. It's just smart business, because YouTube and social media is your business.
For sure.
So you have to find a way to promote that, and it doesn't mean that you're gonna start promoting the napkin because you don't care about it, but you're going to promote because it gives you money. But if there's something that you see that is valuable, that people should have it in their life, that you want to promote, then that's not selling out. That's promoting something for the better, and that's helping yourself.
Exactly. We find companies that like we want to have on our boat, like products we want to have on our boat, and then we reach out to them and say like, hey, if we bring your product on our boat, could we put a video out about it, and then would you give us a deal on it, or like an affiliate link or something like that? And so it's usually like a really good like give and take sort of relationship. It's not, we turn down companies daily who are just like, hey, we'll pay you $100 to like plug this in your video.
Put an emoji pillow in your videos. We're like,
like, no way.
Not really not. No.
But no, it's true. When you find good companies that are doing a really good thing for the environment or for the world, and you want to work with them, it's a great way to sort of collaborate with them.
Kind of give them a push. But also, not just for YouTube, but Instagram is a big deal. Like if you're not really a YouTube kind of person and you still want to try to have that marketing advertisement thing, do Instagram. Instagram is a great way to promote yourself. Definitely.
Well, and to also like kind of retrace back to the original question of like how do you afford to cruise? I love the quote from Bernard Moitessier when he said that someone asked him how much does it cost to cruise, and he said everything you have.
Yes,
it's very true.
And that's just it.
That's true.
So how do you afford to cruise? You just spend what you have.
Totally. No, we could track that. I mean, when we left the United States, we were maybe making $300 a month. and that was fine. We lived on $300 a month. We were completely happy. Since then, like every month, maybe we make a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and every single month we spend a little bit more and a little bit more, a little bit more.
Yeah.
And now we're able to do things and upgrade our boat in ways we never thought we would be able to. But that's just because we're making a little bit more money. Yeah. But it's very true. Like you do end up spending what you have.
It's just whatever your
budget is. The reality is anchoring is free and sailing is free. Motoring isn't, and eating out at restaurants isn't. So you know, take what you spend on groceries every month, and that's your cruising budget if you can get a boat. So
yeah, ultimately,
it's not that much.
Okay, we got a really good question, and we'll ask you guys. If you suddenly came into a lot of money, would you continue to sail and make videos, or what would you change about your life?
Great question. That is a really Mike Beal.
I think if we had a prize for the best questions, I think you would win that one.
If we received $1 million from some random donor, what would we do?
Mike or no Mike, we don't know.
Mike Beal, are you saying you want to give us $1 million?
Honestly, I think this is a kind of question that each of us probably have a different answer. So I think each of us should answer.
We actually do get that question more often than you might think. Like, well, if you guys got some big deal or some big check, would you continue to make YouTube videos?
So let's start with this.
You want to start with you and we'll work our way
Her answer about the $1 million lottery ticket.
What would you do with $1 million? Jordan, plug your ears.
Yeah. So I really enjoy making videos. The reason we started making videos was because I wanted to travel and engage my mind and have a project and a reason to interview people and figure
Completely agree.
just have an intellectual outlet for our travels rather than just being we're sailing, so I would definitely still do videos, but I would probably give ourselves more time, and we've just focused on kind of what we wanted, more of the beauty or more of the cultural side of it, maybe.
And you probably have another camera or two and a steady cam, a couple of things that might make it easier. A newer laptop.
Yeah, we'd probably upgrade our gear a little bit. I'd stick with Atticus for at least 5 more years, just because we have so much love in this.
You guys have a totally fantastic.
They're gonna talk for all of us.
Yeah, right.
We're not gonna have anything. We're copy paste what she said.
And that's funny because Keegan and I are the editors too, so we're just
really interesting. So let's move on to Dan. All right.
So if I had $1 million, we would definitely still make videos. I mean, although Keegan does a lot of the editing, I end up doing a decent amount of the filming. And I think sharing sort of our experience through our refit process and through our sailing process is fantastic. We get a lot of joy out of sharing what we do and how we do it. Even if it's wrong and we learn a month later that we screwed up, we can share that. Yeah. And that's been a really cool experience to sort of share with so many people and still have the feedback from that and kind of the give and take of the interaction. We always joked that if we got $1 million, would we still be on UMA? Maybe for another year or two, but we'd probably end up getting maybe $100,000 boat, spending $100,000 on a refit, and then have $800,000 to just kind of keep cruising without the stress of we have to make a video this week.
Yeah.
But I think we definitely still make videos just because the interaction and the sharing and the sort of community aspect that comes through making videos is actually really cool.
I agree with that, and that's how you make lifelong friends. Oh wow, that's I have to.
Good segue.
So with my $1 million, I will become a.
Does that mean we get $2 million? Does that mean we get $2 million?
No, that changes things.
Unfortunately,
so I second what both of them said. I don't think our life would change at all, actually, and we put so much love and sweat into Uma that I don't think we would just give away Uma and go into something else, because she's our little baby.
She's like the third member of our crew, you know. Yeah. She's part of us.
She has her character, and I think if we were to invest into another boat, maybe we would get a boat that actually needs another refit, because that's what we like to do. We would like to create things as architect that we are.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually why we got such a kind of sort of broken down boat. Is because we knew even if we got a new one, we'd rip it apart and remake it anyway.
Yeah, and we would still do videos and we would still show our lives, because that's how you meet amazing people. And look at us, I don't think we would have met if it wasn't for YouTube.
No.
Yeah.
We're like, hey guys, you're working on a crappy boat in Florida too. Let's be friends.
Yeah, and we get to meet so many of you guys, and it's so amazing how much support we get from you. And I don't think our life would have changed. we would just be a little bit richer, but you know,
I,
whatever.
I think maybe
That's just,
to kind of tie off of yours, I think maybe a little bit less stressful if we were sitting on an $800,000 bank account saying like, oh, if we don't post a video this week,
We're
we'll
not gonna
be
be
fine.
yeah.
Because 6 months ago, like if we didn't post a video every week, we would go hungry. You know, like we couldn't keep going.
Well,
so,
and-
all right, Jordan, your turn.
Take it away.
$1 million. Here, have it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
That's nice.
$1 million.
No, but that's actually, I was going to say something related to your last comment, which is that I think all four of us, if we had made different choice, let me say that differently. I think all four of us made the conscious decision to make less money than we were possibly capable of making.
We're still not making
Like-
nearly the money we were making when we were contractors in the
Yeah.
United States. Not
But
even
it's
close.
Like Desiree studied like neuroscience at an extremely prestigious college. You guys are both could be architects right now,
Yeah.
Making
like
banks.
working, making bank.
we are
I mean,
architects right now.
okay, you are architects.
Not really.
You could be like
Full-time,
working as
yeah.
full-time architects.
No, it's true.
And
There's
then
always-
Probably
I mean,
yeah.
like I decided to like study film, which was probably stupid, but like
No, it's-
even that I could be making more money right now if I wanted to doing other
Yeah,
stuff. So like we
definitely.
all made that choice to make less money, and I think it's because, and I'm going to be presumptuous here, but like I think all four of us recognize that there's more utility in purpose than there is in money.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
if you have a purpose to your life,
And you can afford to eat.
Yeah.
and you have
Health
like
first.
what was the guy that had like the basic things that you needed to cover before you.
Food, shelter, clothing.
Okay, yeah. What was that guy that had like the several levels of like things that humans needed? I can't remember. One of you guys will know. But anyway, but regardless, like we've made that choice, and I think that's so important. If you've got purpose in your life, then you've got everything, right?
Yeah.
And so if we got $1 million, I would be very wary about losing that purpose. Like I would be
Yeah.
concerned about it.
No.
So to me,
It's a
all
good
I
thing
would
you don't
do
have
with
it.
it is I would spend whatever I needed to make a boat, like an expedition boat
Yeah.
that could take me to like the Arctic.
That you
if I
weren't worried
wanted
about
to.
falling apart the next time you made it into a straw.
Right, exactly. And then I wouldn't touch another
Yeah.
cent, and I'd just keep the rest of
For
it.
sure.
Yeah.
And then
For
that
sure.
way I could just keep doing what I want to do and not have to worry so much.
Yeah.
Because
I'm gonna
you only
segue
need, like,
this.
You only need this much to like eat and make sure you're not going to sink, and the rest of it is just to kind of like
Extra.
tie into
Yeah.
your purpose.
Oh, wait,
But
let me-
Venture Life said something,
Yeah,
and that
go
just ties everything together.
Come
She
on, go,
said,
what
well,
did it
I don't know
say?
if it's
Yeah, I
Megan
think it's
that
done,
said
yeah.
it, but
Right
Venture Life
there.
She says
said that
it's
it's
not-
not the money that matters really, it's the experience.
Yeah,
and that
totally.
and that's
It's the
why we're
journey.
here today. It's the journey, it's experience. And no matter how much money we have, we would still want to have this experience
Yeah.
because that's the lust for adventure that we
Yeah.
all have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Let's be
Adventure
honest,
lives
like
in
you guys
everyone.
might have
Yeah.
a bit better, like, you know, lifelines. We might have a bit better motor, but like we'd still be out sailing
Yeah.
for
Yes.
sure.
I just got chills.
Oh, just-
Captain Fish says gave us $10. He said
Nine-
$900,999 left.
Nice.
Cheers, buddy.
Thanks, Captain Fish.
but if that happens, we'll like the only difference is we will get at one boat to fit all four of us, right?
Sure, why not?
And then
Sailing,
yeah,
what is it again?
Pneumatic
Pneumatic
Yes.
sailing.
Like
Well,
that.
and cheers to Venture Lives.
Yeah,
Cheers,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah. I wish you guys were here.
On the West Coast, you guys need to come to the East Coast. But
For a
maybe we
visit.
need to go to the
The
West
West
Coast.
is pretty cool.
Dude, British Columbia, man, pretty nice sailing.
So Tim Dake, maybe Drake, asks, Dan and Jordan, or maybe all four of us.
Nope, just Dan and
Just
Jordan.
It's the men. We're talking
It's a
about
man
the
question.
men now.
Best beer you found in your travels out
It's
of the
10
Why would
inches.
they not ask
Oh, sorry.
us?
Wow.
I like beer too.
So, yeah, so
Prestige Haiti.
I would almost back you up on that.
Nice.
So
The Haitian beer is really good.
Cool.
fun story about beers though is that every sort of country and every sort of like little pocket tends to have their own sort of local brew that everyone sort of rallies behind. But if you dig a little bit deeper, you find out Heineken's been buying up all of those local breweries in all of these countries.
Yeah.
So when you go through and like Prestige in Haiti, Presidente in Dominican Republic, and some of the other islands that have their own beers are actually all
Grenada's
owned by
there, too.
Heineken,
Yeah.
which is kind of creepy if you think about it. But yeah, no, Prestige is pretty good, and not just because the beer's tasty, but because it's like 25 cents for a beer in Haiti. So when you're there, you just buy a round for everyone in the bar.
For like
it costs
$2.
you $5, and you just keep drinking beer the whole night.
So that's
So
a
what
really
about
good
you?
point.
What's your favorite beer?
It's quality versus quantity, you know, like,
Yeah.
and it depends how thick
Quality
your wallet
versus
is.
quantity and price.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Oh god. That's the thing, because like I've drunk a lot of Presidente in my life, just because when we were on yachts, we were mostly in and out of St. Martin. So it was just constantly Presidente. In fact, I remember when we would do the Atlantic crossing from the Med back over to the Caribbean, you'd see the hills of St. Martin, and we'd be like, it's the green Presidente covered
my
hills of St. Martin, you know? Because it's just like, that's what everyone's got on their mind, and that's the same color, and like, but so, in my opinion, like the best tasting beer that I've had in the Caribbean is definitely Indio. In Mexico.
Oh, in Mexico? Indio's here?
Wait, have
Yeah.
we had? I don't think we've ever had Indio.
And it's sort of like Mexican craft beer.
Interesting. We gotta
Like,
try that.
It's like the Mexican
So
version of
my
craft
terrible
we should
beer
go out
story
in
comes
India.
from
Yeah.
like 2 years ago when Tony flew us down to Cozumel to teach us how to dive.
Cheers to Tony.
Cheers
Tony!
to Tony.
Scuba Tony, I don't think he's here, but
So we get here, we land, and me being like the Canadian gringo that I am, we sit down to the restaurant. I'm like, oh, you know, like what's a good local beer? And they're like Corona, Dos Equis, and I'm like, oh shit, of course, like duh.
Yeah, that's what you're going
It's
for.
like going to America and asking what the local beer is, and they're like Budweiser. You know, like it's just so bad. But yeah, everywhere else we've been, they're all the same sort of light beers. But I haven't tried Indigo yet.
There is a brewing company on Isla Mujeres called Isla Brewing, and they did beer.
Maybe that's what we do for a little
Yeah.
Atticus
Oh,
project.
that'd be
Field
good.
trip.
Yeah, it's really good.
Field trip.
Field trip.
Is it Isla Mujeres?
Yeah,
yeah, it is gringo owned though, so I'm like hesitant to call it like a Caribbean beer. Sort of like Dan was saying, like with the conglomerate happening. With,
Here's a good question. Sailing Kittiwake.
Ooh,
Am I saying that right?
I missed it.
No.
I don't see what you're.
I don't
Oh,
if you had
Sinekanon.
Wanon.
Sinekanon.
If you guys had kids, would you raise them on the boat?
Yes.
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 So we have met dozens of families raising kids on boats, and every time we see them, the kids are super polite, super friendly, super happy, super well educated.
Super balanced.
And every time we see them, we're like, oh my god, growing up as a kid on a sailboat would be like the coolest place to grow up as a kid.
Yeah.
That's my theory. What's your
Sure.
theory?
Well, don't tell Desiree's mother, but
Desiree's mom, I hope you're not watching.
Your mom. Oh, I haven't seen her today.
yeah,
Where
she's
are
not
you,
there.
Mom?
My folks aren't there either. But anyway, regardless, we have talked about this a lot, and I think we 100%, just about 99,
It's like, don't.
99, nothing is for certain. That's why I don't use 5200
Face
ever.
values.
Nothing is
Something wrong.
permanent. Nothing is
Face
permanent.
values.
Bad puppy.
No,
It says right on the 5200 can, permanent, and I'm like, nothing's permanent. And I throw it in the garbage. But anyway, so I like 99%. I think we will be having a child on Atticus, and like, this is my screwed up like worldview, but it's like, I think that like humans have been having babies everywhere you could possibly imagine for so long. You know what I mean? Like,
Dave
a
says no
30
more beer for Jordan.
I do, kids, man.
Come on,
That's
man.
my time.
You're totally
prime time.
Okay,
No,
hey
so-
Dave, you're right. Switching over.
Wine for Jordan.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome, wine.
Thank you. Dave,
So,
thanks, I appreciate it. But-
It's a
We're
really
running out of
good
time.
segment
That's the
because
closest thing
we
up.
actually got some questions recently that asked what would happen if we end
If
up
one of
pregnant?
us got pregnant, if I got pregnant, it might be a different story. But if Kika accidentally got pregnant,
So, and then my answer was, you know what? Then it would be a
What if you
plot
got pregnant,
twist
like-
because our life wouldn't change and the kids' lives would be
No.
amazing because he
Totally.
would be growing on a sailboat.
every
and
time we
going to
see
Roma.
kids on sailboats, like every single. So it's different if like you have a 5 or a 7-year-old kid and you kind of like bootstrap them into your sailing dream. But if you have a kid on a boat, like a fresh newborn baby, and they are raised on a boat, every time we see those kids, I'm super jealous of their childhood. Like, it looks amazing, and they're super happy kids. So,
Well, and that's the other
Pretty
part
cool.
about like like kids at a very young age is they don't remember like the first 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So the first 4 or 5 years is just for you.
You're gonna be the worst parents ever until they're 5.
It's just
and
for
then
you.
have to start
You know,
And I'm not planning on being a bad parent, but I'm just saying like it's essentially like for the first 5 years you get like a freebie.
so everybody's saying
The comment stream coming in right now is
Steve
epic.
says they're all pregnant.
we're all pregnant.
I'm
pregnant. Cheers to
Dave
pregnancy.
says, if Dan gets
Yeah,
pregnant,
right.
that's $1 million taken care
Somebody
of.
says Jordan is pregnant? What?
Can't you tell? That's a beer baby going on. This is
So-
just a beer baby. It's not actually like a child.
Sorry guys. Sorry to disappoint. Jordan isn't
It's a
pregnant
bad taco.
today. So Dan isn't pregnant either.
Oh, tell that to my stomach. Oh. So
How weird would that be if we got pregnant like at the same time?
Wait, you guys?
No, not
That would be
not.
really weird.
I mean us.
How,
Yeah, I mean like.
How
we
would
did
you
this
guys shower
weird-
on board again?
Yeah, right.
I think if we ended up Desiree and I guess.
We would all get matching tattoos for sure.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we already do, but
I want another. Like I want to do it again. That was so fun.
yeah.
Let's get tatted again.
You know what they say? Once you start, it's kind of an addiction.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it will be fun because then
The
our
rumors
kids
are
will
true,
be really
guys.
close.
I am pregnant. I am pregnant.
All right, any last minute questions for you guys? We're going to wrap things up.
We're running out of beer and wine. It's time for us to go back down to the bar.
Yeah.
So
Things
if
are
you
getting
guys have
real.
enjoyed tonight's live stream and you don't want to miss another live stream, you can always text Atticus to 43506 and we'll send you a text message 15 minutes before we go live.
You guys are like legit official.
Yeah, right?
Legit.
350.
No way.
And also check out Text Signal if you want to increase your engagement on your live streams. Also, as Dave has mentioned and a bunch of people, it really helps us out a lot if you give us a thumbs up. So that would be amazing if you've enjoyed what we've done tonight. All right, and also special thanks to all of our patrons. That goes for Sailing Uma's patrons and
You guys
our
are the
patrons.
best for sure.
You guys are awesome, and yes. And thanks for all the sailing channels that have joined us tonight. We've had Trio Travels, Venture Lives, Sailing Kittiwake, new channel. Really love them. Check them out. And Sailing Uma. So you guys have all been amazing. Let's just see if there's any last minute questions. If not, we'll probably catch you guys next time. Any other questions? How much money is needed to actually travel like you? Is $600 a month enough?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
More than enough.
Yes. It kind of
If you're
depends.
prepared.
It depends what country you go to. Some are more than others, but like if you have a decent sailing boat and you're not dumping like $3,000 a month into fixing it, $600 a month is plenty.
But it's like Dan was saying earlier. It's like the cost of cruising is groceries plus maintenance.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
if you're cool with that, like so imagine
If
in
you're fine with
whatever
rice and beans and
situation you're in
oatmeal,
now,
you can sail for super cheap.
Imagine whatever situation you're in right now, apartment, house, whatever, like stay in one room of that apartment for like the
year.
next year and just
Right?
eat and like look at some poster of a sunset. You know what I mean? That's you. That's your existence from now on. So it's like it depends on what you're willing to like get used to.
Yeah.
you
But
know?
also sometimes clearance is a little bit more expensive than
Depending on what country you're going to.
Like
some
Belize
countries
is
are
$300, which is ridiculous. Which is
some
why we
countries
did
are
stop in
free
Belize.
and some countries are very expensive.
Yeah.
But that's also just planning. Like if you have a very tight budget, it just means you need to plan a lot more. You need to plan what countries you stop in, what countries you skip, how much you can fix your boat, how much you can't. But it just depends. You guys are very
Everybody drink like me.
2 hands. All the way back.
All right. With that, we will catch you guys next time. Thanks, guys.
It was
for
super
joining
fun hanging out with you all.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Good
And
night.
if we missed your comments tonight, we're really sorry. It's kind of hard to stay.
Especially when we're 4 people.
We're very distracted.
Yeah, exactly. So just
Especially
comment.
with these two good-looking devils. It's
Right?
like I can't even like look at the camera.
So distracting.
Like, body.
This wine glass is ridiculously distracting.
I like the hair.
So if we missed your comment, just comment in the video once it's posted. Cheers,
Okay.
guys.
Bye.
See you guys.